Hi, we're the Huge Movie Fanatics here, and we're gonna do a solo review, so there's no we involved.
He's gonna.
I'm gonna do Thor: The Dark World, or Thor 2 for, peeps. And this movie, I'd be interested to see what you have to say about this one, just because it's coming out soon. It's a good movie. I'm gonna give this movie 3 stars. It's one of the worst of the Marvel movies. But here's the interesting thing about it. People who didn't like Thor love this movie. They think it's just amazing. People who loved Thor think it's okay and passable.
Oh my gosh.
And so I loved Thor. I thought that was one of the best comic book movies ever made. And this movie is just fine. I liked it. That said, it is the funniest out of all of the Marvel movies, by far, which was kind of interesting. I didn't expect that, but that movie had a great sense of humor. Loki is put to the best use in this movie than he's ever been put in any of the other ones. And I really liked him. The movie has a strong weight of peril, and they do kill off a couple characters, which surprised the hell out of me. But I like that. The visuals in this movie are fantastic. You've come to expect that if you've seen Iron Man 3, Avengers, or anything before it. The villain is completely lacking. They have...
Who's the villain?
He's the Dark Elf. And
Ooh.
he has no character, which is so weird, coming from Thor's 2 other movies where Loki was the bad guy. Loki was such a vibrant, kind of very defined bad guy. And this guy, I'm bad. That's like his entire performances.
I'm afraid.
He's a bad guy. And but you seem to like the more I don't talk, I just do things kind of bad guys.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, in Michael Myers and Jason and all that kind of stuff. This is essentially that kind of bad guy. He doesn't do much except he's just there to create menace, and that's his extent. I really like what they did with Kat Dennings. She has much more of a role than she did in the first movie. She's quite funny, and she adds a lot of the comedy to this movie. I really like what they do with her, and they play with gender stereotypes quite well in the movie. With everybody except for Natalie Portman, who's just shamefully underused. She's just sort of there. But as I say, the real crux of what makes this movie work is the Thor and Loki stuff. Loki is used amazing. There's an amazing cameo in this movie, one of the best cameos I've ever seen in any movie. It comes in this one, and it'll just have you slapping your knee. And Thor is quite good in this. And Anthony Hopkins does a good job again as Odin. As I say, yeah, the movie would be so good if it had an interesting villain. The villain is just sort of nothing. In all of the Marvel movies, even say what you will about Iron Man 3, it's not a great movie. The villain, the whole Mandarin thing, was an interesting thing about the movie in comparison to what this guy. At least he had a character. This guy doesn't have a character. And you got 2 Mandarins in Iron Man 3. And both of them were more interesting than this guy. So anyway, I give the movie 3 stars. It's good. It's just not great.
What kind of tops Kat Dennings? Anything low cut or anything cleavage?
I would imagine so. I can't remember.
You don't remember?
I saw it in
November
4th
right.
or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
But she's one of the best things about the movie. Same thing with Lady Sif. Lady Sif is pretty cool in the movie. That's Thor's wife in Asgard.
Oh, okay.
And she's pretty badass. They do some really cool stuff with the Asgardians, all of them. The Asgard stuff is the best stuff in the movie, I think. And they do the visuals in this movie remind me so much of Star Wars. They borrow, because there's a lot of spaceships and stuff flying and shooting things. And
spaceship. Okay.
And that stuff is the visuals are very, very Star Wars, and there's a lot of action scenes that are very Star Warsy. But yeah, 3 stars for Thor 2. Loki is awesome.
I haven't seen it. Thanks for watching.